So, hello there everyone and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it is time for me to bring you another FIFA 20 concept design video. We've seen one before by the brilliant Alvin PSD, you can check his Instagram out down in the description below. That one was for owner mode. A lot of you guys have been wanting that in the game. Personally, I do. I think it'd be an insane game mode to add for FIFA 20. Whether it'll happen, I just simply don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. Today though, we have got a concept design for online career mode. Perhaps one of the most demanded things in the career mode community over the last 5 years is the ability to play career mode with your friends. Well, today we're going to be seeing a concept design for it. If you go on to enjoy the video, slap a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to the channel. But first of all, let's get into this first screenshot, and as you can see, it is the central tab, and this obviously is where you dictate, you know, whether you're going to play a game, sim a game, usually on career mode. You've got your stats, standings, and stuff like that. Now, playing games would be one of the more confusing elements of an online career mode because it's not like you can just play whenever you want. The whole element, the whole idea of this would be to play online against someone else. So there'd have to be a set time and day, really, for fixtures to occur. So they'd be scheduled. I mean, maybe when you started up the league or the admin of the league would set an actual amount of times you'd play in a week. So maybe games would be set to one a week if you're an especially busy group of people. If not, then maybe there'd be a game a day, maybe 2 games a day if you're looking to blast through a league in a week or something. As I mentioned though, that could be a setting when you actually start up the league, but realistically games would have to be scheduled. They'd have to be fixed times. As you can see there, it says next match against Arsenal is on a Saturday at 5 PM. Play against each other at a definite specific time or date. I think that's realistically going to be the best way for this system to work. If one person can't make it, you could set a rule about that at the start of the league as well. Either maybe the game gets simmed in a traditional format where the game just takes up 2 teams, who's at home, who's away, who's in better form, and then just decides the result based on that. Or you could set it so that whoever misses a game has to forfeit the game and automatically loses. Maybe you could even add extra rules as well to how the actual career mode will work or how the league would work. You could add a situation where you get to steal a player if you beat someone in the league, or you get your team goes up by a certain amount of form, or you get prizes per win. Maybe you get £500,000 every time you win a game in the league that can then go towards your transfer kitty, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Just like little things to add, just to add a little bit of spice to a league perhaps. On top of that, to the right hand side of next match, we've got match info, where it says you can watch match information, match opening, pass records, and more. I think it'd be quite nice to have like a record system for leagues that each individual person has been in, maybe, so they've actually got like a history as to how many leagues they've won, how many trophies they've won, etc. You can have stats, as in, you know, how the season is going, who's the top scorer, as you can see there on the bottom left. You could have information on your next opponent, maybe their squad, their usual formation, and maybe even highlights of a couple of their games or highlights of the league season overall. Stats and standings will work in the exact same format. You can see there we've got goals and assists, so João Felix is top of that one. It'll work in the same way as offline career mode does, and it'll include stats from all of the players involved in the league. And then on top of that, you've also got news and training, which would work in the same way as offline career mode as well, though I will talk about growth and training and stuff in a little bit. Now, next up, we've got a tab for transfers, and this is another section of an online career mode that would be really vital, but also would have to work in a certain way. So as you can see, you've got little tabs or little boxes for online market, offline market, and then the rest is your usual stuff in an offline career mode transfer tab. Now, as far as the online market is concerned, there's going to be no duplicates of players. In my opinion, I think career mode online would work best if it's not in an ultimate team format, where you can have one person who, say, has João Felix play against someone else who also has João Felix. There should only be one of each player in an existing save across an entire career mode, in my opinion. So there shouldn't be any crossovers of players. That's the first thing. On top of that, we've got the online market, which is really where players or users themselves would say they want to sell a player. They've got too many centre mids at Arsenal, for example. They want to sell Mohamed El-Neni. Slap him on the online market for £4 million. If one of the other players in that league decides, I might need a backup holding mid, they can go and buy El-Neni from another actual real-life person rather than someone from the AI. Realistically, the same way as the FUT market works, it's pretty much as simple as that. But again, unlike Ultimate Team, there wouldn't be that duplication of players. The money would be swapped, in my eyes, in the same way as offline career mode. So say a deal was agreed for £4 million. If I'm making that transfer, I lose £4 million from my transfer kitty, and whoever I buy the player from gets £4 million. You can maybe decide at the start of the league again how the actual budgets would work. Maybe everyone gets the same amount of money. I think that would be the most fair thing to do. But if you want to have realistic budgets, like each team that you choose has the same budget they would have in offline career mode. So say Man City have like 130 mil, whereas a team like, I don't know, Aston Villa coming into the Premier League might only have 40 million pounds. Then you can choose that as well. But I think it would be a lot better to have everyone having the same budget. The offline market works in the same way as offline career mode, really. Any teams that are controlled by the CPU that aren't in your league, say doing a strictly Premier League, and then you want to buy a player from PSG, if an actual real-life person isn't controlling PSG, then you can buy them in a CPU format. In that instance, you lose, obviously, say, £40 million for buying a player from Paris Saint-Germain, but the money doesn't go anywhere. It's just taken on by the CPU. They don't really do anything with it, and no player really gains that cash. But because of that, you brought in a player from a CPU team rather than someone else. You've just brought them into the league. I hope this is making sense. And then everything else on that page would work in the same way. Buying players, you could loan players if you want to still. There might be a free agents pool if real-life players are deciding they want to release certain members of their squad. Now, finally, after that, we've got what's called on here the youth tab, but it also leads into something else, which, again, is going to be vitally important for how an online career mode works, but might be a little bit confusing. So on the screen, we've got youth growth, we've got youth scout instructions, squad hub, training, and staff for your young players. Your youth growth tab is literally to monitor growth, but that asks a bigger question as to how growth would actually work in an online career mode. And I think the simple answer is it would have to just work in the same way for absolutely everybody. Say you decide you're going to train Ethan Ampadu there on the screen from 67, 69. If you do that in training during the course of a 2-game window, say you from training him 67, 69, you've played 2 games. For everyone else, he has to be 69. Like, that's the only way for it to work. So every single player grows linearly or in the exact same way on every single person's screen. I don't think it'd be that difficult. It would only be in the same way as a team of the week works. So you don't have a 75 rated player, for example, playing against you, got a 77 rated player playing against you. It's exactly the same format, really. Speaking of form and team of the week and all that sort of stuff, maybe form could actually have an impact on how quickly a player grows. So if João Felix, for example, scores 5 goals in 5 games, he can go up a little bit quicker even without training than someone else. I think the usual age system would still apply, so a younger player would grow a little bit easier maybe via form than an older player, and if an older player is slightly out of form, they'd go down a lot quicker than a younger player. That way you can get growth that works for every person's game, but you can get something back, which I've always loved on the old FIFAs, is basically growth via form rather than a fixed potential. I think everyone at this point absolutely despises fixed potentials. I know actually it would work really well in an online career mode because then everyone would grow at the same rate, but regardless, I just hate the idea of everything being fixed and nothing that you do out on the pitch actually really affecting anyone's careers. Finally, in terms of some of the other options on this screen, you can see youth scout instructions. So that's, I assume, where you just plug in certain attributes you want to get from young players existing in the game, and you can then scout them and decide who is going to work best in your team. Youth squad hub, which is where apparently you can manage your club's young players, extend contracts, promote them to your main team, and more. So I guess in this situation you have a B team as well, where you can maybe promote the likes of Ethan Ampadu to the senior team. I don't know whether that would be massively important, because I doubt there's going to be like youth leagues in an online career mode as well, but maybe if you don't want players to start going down, you want them to actually get some sort of game time, potentially grow a little bit quicker, you could have reserve squads so they get a bit more experience and maybe go up in form. Youth training is where you can solely dedicate to training your young players rather than some of the other senior players in the side. And then youth staff as well, which might increase the actual rate of growth for your young players across the course of a, say, if you've got a 5-star coach or youth coach, for example, the growth of your young young players might increase by 25% depending on their form or whatever. That, though, I think is everything. I think that's everything covered for what I would love as an online career mode. Let me know down in the comment section below what other things you'd like to see in this game mode if EA were to add it into a future game. Personally, I think it's the future of career mode. I love to see this implemented. But again, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Whilst you're down there, slap a like on the video and subscribe if you are new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It's at the official FNG on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.